Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Cal Royal number 10ULDV201 US15. This is a door viewer from Cal Royal. This is in satin nickel finish. This is 200 degree with a glass lens, and your first impression might say, oh, that looks awfully weird for a door viewer. Well, no, it's not at all. Here's why. It's weird looking possibly because it's for a thin part of the door, meaning you have an 1 3/4 thick door, but the panel thickness is not 1 3/4. It could be 1 inch or 1 1/4. Therefore, a standard door viewer would be weird, and you need a specialty door viewer like this. Okay. Now, Cal Royal is going to make this available in a total of 4 finishes, and let me give that to you now. Obviously, US15 for satin nickel, and that's going to refer to the bezel around the edge, then the trim on the inside. You can also get this in US10B for oil rubbed, US2060 for satin chrome, which is going to look different than this. It's going to be quite complementary, but will be satin chrome, a little brighter, a little bluer, or maybe a little more brushed looking. Then US3 for polished brass. Okay, 200 degree view of angle, large and generous. That means that you're probably going to have a 9/16 requirement for the hole through the door. Indeed, that's what the extended description says. The caliper says that the body diameter is 0.54, so that's going to be spot on, 0.54. And its minimum distance, and they say it's for doors from 1 inch to 1 3/8, or at least panel thicknesses. You could have an 1 3/8 door. You might have a basement door that's 1 3/8 and it's exterior. The dimension from the inside of the viewer to the inside of the trim on the inside is 0.777 from here to here, which means I suppose you could technically get that down onto a thinner door. You sure can. I mean, the caliper is telling me 0.777 from inside of here to here. When I thread that out all the way, and then let's just say I get it on with 2 revolutions. Forgive me. The caliper says we're at 1.352, and that would certainly work for 1 3/8. Okay. There is information down below this video. The only thing we've not covered is the fact that it's fire rated approved for 90-minute doors. Can't think of a scenario where you'd have, well, I suppose if you have a 90-minute rated style and rail door, I'm going to say that it's unlikely that you do, but I suppose you might. High-end hotel suite doors where they all have to be fire rated, and the cost of those doors is astronomical because the construction is so special. Sure, it's listed for that rating. There's a link below this video to a document called Cut Sheet where you can review not only all of the sister products to this door viewer. Forgive me. All that you're seeing in this regard is just the door viewer itself. A couple of dimensions that I've not given you that are important. Well, I don't know if they're important, but an outside diameter of the inside trim, 0.714, and then an outside diameter of the outside bevel or bezel area. Caliper says it's 1.032. Now, when you are drilling or prepping the door for this door viewer, in my experience, you're going to want to be very careful when you drill into the door. You're going to want to be sure that you're drilling straight. If possible, use a drill press sort of concept, which is probably going to be unlikely. What I like to do when I'm drilling these is I will go through the door with like an 1/8 of an inch drill bit. I will have marked the door on both sides to be sure that I'm accurate, or even better, I will start that 1/8 of an inch through from one side, come to the other side, and drill through and make that hole meet. If you are measuring the width, be very cautious if your door is beveled, because when you hook the tape measure on the edge of the inside of a bevel door, it'll be a different dimension than on the outside. And that dimension is generally, the bevel is generally 3 degree, which translates into 1/8 of an inch bevel for every 2 inches of thickness. So if your door is 1 3/4, it's going to be just ever so slightly shy on a 1/16 of an inch, or a total of 1/8 of an inch, but a 1/16 when you're measuring from one side over. So do keep that in mind when you are working to when you're pre-drilling that hole. Except, of course, I said a 1/16 of an inch. It's really 1/8 of an inch if you're measuring from one side, because that bevel will be a total of 1/8 of an inch smaller. You want to keep that in mind. If you've got a door that's 35 and 13/16 wide on the high side of the door, which would be the pull side, you could very likely have a door that's going to be really close to 35 and 5/8, or ever so slightly shy on that. So keep that in mind. You're not going to want to drill through the door, certainly if it's wood, if you've got a drill bit. Because you're going to exit with the drill bit and you're going to breach out and probably tear veneer out, and you don't have a lot of trim there to cover it up. So you're going to want to drill from either side once you've done a test drill and you know that you're straight and level. That would be the best case scenario. You don't have a lot of room to play with in that regard, as I've mentioned. So keep that in mind. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Cal Royal products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I'm quite partial to Cal Royal, and it's because they produce, or they import. They're importers of high quality, dependable, economical commercial builders hardware, residential as well. If you have more than an occasional need for that sort of material, review the link below this video on their manufacturer's page to their full product catalog. It'll be well worth your time. I've been working with Cal Royal for about 20 years, and I continue to go back to them because of that predictable, reliable, dependable, high quality, high value product line. They don't sell a door viewer as much as although they do, this is a very nice product, but they sell service is really what the product that they're selling, because there's lots of people who import high quality builders hardware. Cal Royal's product offering, however, is probably the broadest spectrum of available material from a single manufacturer. If you have any questions on the Cal Royal, they're part number 10ULDV201 and a US15 door viewer, or any other Cal Royal product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.